Okay, it's time for another unboxing. And actually, you can see I actually technically, well, not technically, I did unbox it because when I got this, I was like hearing this, it's like, wait, this sounds loose. Don't tell me the thing's like floating in here. Like somehow the padding, or was it not padded or protected when shipping? It sounds like it's just in here like really loose. Oh no, I hope it didn't get banged up. And so I cut this open just to check immediately, and you will see what that was. And luckily it wasn't what I thought it was. It's just a loose watch in here. So we'll get into it. So I'm going to divide this into a couple of videos perhaps. I want to focus this on the unboxing and just checking it out, and then I'll probably do another video on more specifically why did I pick this watch, and there's for me, a very important reason to get it, and it's very personal, and we'll show that later. I don't want to overdo it in one video, so we'll just go into the unboxing, check it out, and see how it is. But before you do, let me flash about, I think, 8 photos, right about, signal myself to put it right around here, and it'll show like 1, 2, I don't know, a couple seconds. But as we're doing that, just to show you, like, these are just some of the images of the eBay listing and this condition, and it's from a seller that has pretty high 90s percentage, and he's supposedly been doing this for at least 25 years or something. He seems to be mostly focused, at least for vintage or neo-vintage watches, TAG Heuer specifically. And so seems like a pretty good experience, and a mix of inventory from various models from, I guess, the 80s to the 90s is what I would say those range from. So anyways, I think I've shown enough. Some of the images, like, they look pretty good, although the case back, I didn't notice on the outside of the, this is not it obviously, but on the outside of the case back, there's like right by the edge, there's a little bit of kind of some grime or crud or something. Didn't look clean. I don't know, hopefully there's nothing issue with it, but I kind of mentioned that, and he said, yeah, he should have cleaned up the watch and stuff. So we'll get right into it. And so what it was this that was rattling around in there loosely. And he mentioned, because I mentioned the bezel looks, maybe, is it, I was just asking, was it slightly misaligned, or he didn't just didn't center it? And he said maybe it was slightly misaligned, and I think he tried to replace, he said maybe it was a clip, the spring thing here. And he had another one, I guess he doing this for a while, he's got like lots of parts, so he did try to switch it out, I think, and he said it lined up better, but something about it didn't quite work or fit exactly, though. Like something was off, like you had to maybe do some modification or shave something off of this to make it work better. I wasn't entirely sure. I gotta go over the message that we sent, and then I think he put back the original bezel or spring, rather, that was with the watch when, you know, how it was listed, and so that should be exactly the way, you know, it was originally sold. And I guess he decided to throw in the extra part, he said, and he was mentioning he was using, he could use potentially, and maybe if I wanted to try it, then I could. And I don't know, again, I think there's some part of it that might need just a little bit of whittling or sanding down to thin out. He said one part was a little bit thicker somewhere. I'm not entirely sure what he was talking about, but we'll see. But anyways, cool. I figure if it is slightly misaligned, depends on how bad, either it's okay where I can fidget, you know, do, if it's not like, you know, some bezels got a slight play, then maybe I can live with it. It's kind of like slightly, you know, fudge it until it gets centered. like you know, it's just like a little off, and just do a little bit, and it might just hold there good enough. Otherwise, if I feel it's just too off for me, I think there's a way I can maybe without actually switching, popping the bezel out and switching this or whatever, maybe I can remove the insert, and I have something that I've used before to loosen up the adhesive and then pop that off cleanly, remove the old bezel, probably adhesive tape, whatever's holding it down, and then just replace it with a new one and reset it like that. So we'll see. And it did come actually fully wrapped. Let me back this up a little bit. Like in terms of this was, I just cut this to just check it out, and then I was about to open it to see further, but I figured, you know, I was at work, so I didn't want to fully open it, but pretty well packaged, and that's good. I was worried that it wouldn't be. So hopefully this, I actually cut this okay. I think it should be right about here. Let's see. There we go. This is just a free knife I got from 511 Tactical. Like they do like tactical gear, clothing. I think I was buying a pair of boots or something, and they threw that in. So anyways, nothing special. Not really into knives, but some of you guys in the watch community are. So we'll put this down, get some room. Hopefully the condition will match the photos, right? I suspect the second hand might be slightly off too. How I gonna feel about needing to adjust anything will be based on just how good the rest of the condition of it is. Sometimes if it looks so good and really nice as is, then I may not feel as compelled to do too much to it. Just let it be. But I don't know, maybe I might still want to do something. And let's see. Oh yeah, centered. Oops, sorry. They weren't looking at my crotch. Sorry, this is a new camera angle that I haven't been doing. So we'll look at the back real quickly, and just to be expected, some scratching, but it's not too bad. I've seen worse actually on some other models, but overall the bracelet is looking pretty good. Should be like basically overall most of this watch and the bracelet is a matte finish, sort of similar to this F1, but these center links should be high polished. At least these two outer ones, these two right here. So if I keep going off camera, sorry, because again, this camera's elevated higher, a little bit more than normal. Just trying a new setup, and we'll see the other side here. Sorry. And some faint scratches, but that's okay. These actually seem more solid than I remember them. I thought they would actually be, I don't know if you can see it, I thought these would be more hollow, but that's good. I swear these were hollow, like center links, like you know, if you have an SKX, that kind of Jubilee, but that's actually better. Let's check out the, okay, this opens nicely. Nice pull, nice snap. This feels about, it's like an extra, like double. See, there's a little kind of creak. It's okay though. I think after a while it'll work itself, but considering this clasp looks pretty good. Now, the main event, okay, we'll just see the back. It actually looks, sorry, looks pretty clean. we can tell it's not too many scratches actually. And we'll go to the side here. Sorry, there is a bit of a scratch here. Obviously there's something that happened right about there. Hopefully it's in focus, but it's not too bad. It's on the lower side, but overall it's pretty scratch free. Look how thin the case is, and no real bad damage on the lug ends, which could happen. Looks good. Logo on this looks good. Crown is screwed down, and we gotta see the dial. I thought this thing had more of a loom pit in here. I don't think it was so part of it's missing. I don't know if it's inside here and somehow fell out, but I could potentially fix that. I have some loom mixture that maybe I could do and fix that up. Yeah, and I have seen bezel inserts for this. Maybe I could buy one and just swap it out. Let's see. Just trying to test the, sorry about the shadow. 1, 2. So yeah, the second stand's slightly off, but that's okay. I'm just thinking, is there a little bit of looseness of play? So yeah, probably slightly, because right this angle, this angle, I can see that it's closer to the mark. Gravity's pulling on it, so it looks like it's kind of, sorry, I keep moving this thing off camera, because again, this camera's it's a bit out of my eye level, so I can't always see what's going on. But if I do that, I think gravity's pulling it closer to the marker. Now if I flip it this way, it's definitely past it a bit. I forgot the feel of this bezel. Actually, it's pretty tight. There's like actually not that much play. I mean, it just not a heck of a lot of grip, and I guess that's how it always was. Like you can see here, the way it's designed, and especially being high polished. But if you kind of get it at an angle and push, try to turn it like without actually pushing down on it, then you get a better purchase on it. This one's definitely past, so, but otherwise, actually, I can't even remember how. This is a watch that I used to own, by the way. I bought myself 30 years ago, and that's part of the reason why I bought this. I was trying to find this watch again. Well, that loom pip is definitely gone, but I think I have something I could use to fill it up with and repair it. I definitely have some loom formula that maybe I could try filling that in and then putting a little bit of lacquer on top of it just to seal it up or something. We will see, but I might buy a new one altogether. I think I still see one. In terms of the alignment to the pip, it is slightly off, but I'm actually not like terribly bothered by it. Although when I look at this line right here, the way it would line up with that marker, it seems a bit lower than that side. This side almost looks like it's lined up more, which is kind of weird that it should be off like that. Trying to see like the spacing around, like I'm trying to look at the markings, how much space there is to the edge of the rehot, right? And from what I can tell, it looks fairly even all around. Now the second hand's being, it is, I can tell it's a little bit on the loose side because, you know, on one hand, it'll, if I let the gravity hold on to it this way, it tends to be closer to the marking as it's going past. But you can see gravity pulling it back this way. I think the hand, sorry, the hand is moving past that mark now, so it's hitting more like in between, like in the middle. But you know, this is, after all, like almost technically 30 years old, right? This came out roughly around 95, and it is 2025. But considering the overall condition, it's pretty good, and it's got plenty of links. Let's see how this fits. And let me close this up before I make something I'm going to regret here. So put this out here, and I actually do have the extra links from my old watch, and this is how it fits on my 7-inch wrist. Nice and slim, and this is 37 millimeters. Okay, well, I guess this video is going to get longer, but yeah, you know, going back to like a Black Bay 54 these days, you know, they went smaller. This is kind of in that range. $36.8. I was 37. See here. So I'm trying to measure basically from 2 to 8, and it's basically it should be 37. But the bezel itself, you can see it sits a little bit smaller than the case. So that will be 35. Check that out. About 35, a little bit more than that, 35.2-ish. So visually, this definitely will look smaller anyways, but that's okay. I was trying to go with a more diminutive size here. I forgot if the crystal was always inset like this compared to the bezel. Like it's lower than the bezel, which is fine. Yeah, I'll see if I can maybe make a repair to that. I gotta dig out my my loom kit and see if I can mix up something. It's been a while since I've done that, but if you've seen my videos before, let's see the crown action. Well, really tighten this. And the overall, the bracelet seems good. Like the end links, they're hollow, but I think this one could use a little bit, just like work to pop it up more. Like it looks a little bit inset, like a little bit deep on that corner compared to this side where it's a little bit more, looks more flush. So I might go in and just try to tweak that a little bit just so it maybe sits a little bit higher up there. I'll see what I can do about that. But yeah, here we go. The crown. See how action is. It pops out okay. It's a little bit of wear there, but not too bad. And then it should hack. Good. light over here. What else was I gonna do? Oh, let's set the time. Let's see. Okay, this should be midnight. There we go. And then flipped over just there. How is the hand alignment? Seems pretty decent. As far as I can tell, it looks like it's pointing where it should. 12, 2, 3. Basically, it should be where it's, and then let's see, when you look at the vertical, I think it's close enough to where and I doubt if the loom is any good anymore. See, the loom is a little bit cracked on this, but I don't think the loom will last very long. Show it to you real quickly. Yeah, this I could use some fill in right there. I mean, I guess I can try to fill it in myself. If it doesn't work, I can think about getting my own filling it in myself. And then let's see. I got to put this. I really doubt if these will last, because if I recall when I had this, let's be honest, the loom wasn't all that impressive. But you know, I'm not really expecting this to be a loom monster. Anyways, I should try to set the time, which I will do later. But since I'm out of the red zone, right? Because I went past midnight already. Make sure that date advance should work. Yep. And then screw it down carefully. And there we go. I mean, considering the age, this has held up pretty well. I was expecting there to be more in there, but I can fix that pretty easily, I think. What else was I going to say? But yeah, it's good. The crystal is nice and clear. I don't see anything underneath that should be of concern. Again, the bezel action's there. I probably will need to realign this somehow. I'll figure this out. But yeah, a couple of things I need to work on. And then, yeah, I was looking at this. So then there's like a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it in this video. Let me see, zoom up. The shadow might be covering it a little bit, but right on that edge, there's a little bit of something. I may put it on the machine here and open it up just to make sure everything's good inside. Otherwise, yeah, I think overall pretty happy with it. I figured this was going to be a bit of a project potentially too, just to get everything up to the spec. Again, I'm not expecting too much out of the second hand. It's just going to be what it is, but as long as it keeps accurate time, that's all that really matters. I've had other watches which have been off before, but at least it's consistently off. Sorry, it keeps going off camera. It doesn't matter as long as it's ticking and working. You know, for a watch, again, it's 30 years old. It's not too bad, not too shabby. Okay, well, I guess this is long enough. I'll get talking more personally about this and why I decided to get this, and that's going to be quite another video going on there. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy watches. I look forward to enjoying this one again, because I've missed this for almost 18 years since the last time I had mine. And I do really like that vintage, I guess it's neo vintage TAG Heuer logo. It's different than what they have now, which is it's clean, but it's like, and it fills up the top part a little bit more, the tag part. But I like how this one is the old style. It's just more stylized with that, how they're kind of integrated, and then the G's got that arrow going through it at the tip of the G that hooks back. And yeah, this watch meant a lot to me back then, and I'm hoping to reclaim those feelings and more, because there's certainly to be a lot of cool stuff that could be had with this. Oh, by the way, it is 18 point, what, 18 point something. It's probably basically a 19. Yeah, 18.6, 18.7, depends on where I measure it. But I think, yeah, essentially this is supposed to be a 19 millimeter lug spacing here. Lug to lug, since I got the measurements, it's about 44, 43 something. Oh, pretty close to 44, I think. Yeah, 44.5. Actually, now that I redo it, it's like that. Yeah. So short, and then the thickness or thinness, 9, just over 9. That's including the, like, I wouldn't say the crystal as much as it is the bezel, because the crystal is slightly inset. It drops down into there. So I guess the crystal is basically protected. Anyways, there we go.